You know, I'm kind of excited to see what the Buffalo Bulls, not the Bills, the Bulls, do this coming season. Pete Lembo ended up at Buffalo because of Nick Saban retiring. They took away the head coach, and so they had to hire a new one, and that brought in Lembo. And Pete Lembo has an interesting background. He was a center for Georgetown, which means he's more offensively minded. He was graduate assistant at Albany, Georgia, at the college there. I actually know some people that went there. Great Danes, or Division One football or Division One FCS school. Uh, then was tight ends coach at Dartmouth, offensive coordinator and offensive line and receiving coordinator at Hampton Sydney. I forgot they had a football team. Hampton Sydney, bit of trivia, is in Farmville, Virginia. Yes, if you remember the old game, there are two universities there. One is Hampton Sydney, which is old as all get out, one of the original universities in the United States, and Longwood, which was an all girls school for the longest time. Hampton Sydney, all guys. Longwood was all female. Same town. Interesting stories there. But assistant head coach and offensive line and receiving coordinator at Lehigh, and then he became head coach at Elon, head coach at Ball State. Moved on to Maryland, where he was assistant head coach, tight ends, assistant head coach at Rice, Memphis, South Carolina, South Kakalaki. And now he's at Buffalo. He is 121 and 69 overall. He won the conference title twice in the Patriot League and went to the NCAA 1AA quarterfinal. He went to Elon with the Southern Conference. He went 44 and 14 at Lehigh, 35 and 22 at Elon, 33 and 29 at Ball State. Took him to two bowl games. Probably could have done a little bit better. Now he's back in the MAC. He went 9 and 4 his first year. Now he's semifinalist for the Broyles Award. He's got an interesting resume. I'm not too sure what he's going to do at Buffalo, but what he's already done at Buffalo. Not to mention he's got a quarterback that I'll be talking about here in a minute. But let's take a look at this schedule because I've been flipping my jaws about all kinds of things. So let's talk about this schedule. Hey folks, this is Paul with Redneck Sports. I want to thank you for viewing my video. And I want to give you one thought process. There was a famous coach at the University of Tennessee by the name of General Robert Neyland. He had 6 maxims, but number 2 maxim is what everybody should apply to their life. Play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. That's how to live your life right there. Now, also hit like and subscribe if you don't mind. So, we're going to start out. They're going to Minnesota. Yeah, not got a chance. No matter how bad Minnesota is, I think that they're still good enough just for the simple fact of that. Oh, the Golden Gophers are a scary team, and they went 8-5 last year. So yeah, this is going to be a warm-up game for them. Then Bulls get their warm-up game, which is with St. Francis. Then they go to Kent State. That's an automatic win. So you're 2-0 or 2-1 at that point. Then they've got Troy. I don't have a problem with them in Troy. This Sunbelt school, I don't see Troy being able to do much unless they've got a major change. I didn't look that far in the Sunbelt this year, but I don't think they've got a major change coming. Then UConn comes to them. Honestly, I think that Buffalo could pull it off this year. Last year, they got lucky. I'm not a fan of UConn, so we already have that problem with UConn. I don't think UConn's got it in them. I think that Buffalo should be able to beat them. Then they got Eastern Michigan. Honestly, I think they can beat Eastern Michigan. I think Buffalo is good enough they can beat Eastern Michigan. Then they got UMass. That's a bowl qualifier right there. October 18th. 6-1 at that point. Then they got Akron. Now that's 7-1. Bowling Green. I honestly, I think that they can take on Bowling Green. Uh, I don't have a problem with Bowling Green. I just don't think that Bowling Green, I just don't see it for the simple fact of that Bowling Green, even though they're a good team, I think they won't be able to get it. So that's going to be 8. Central Michigan. They're going to Central Michigan, but I think that they can take Central Michigan. That's going to be 9. Now, they got Miami of Ohio. Um, Honestly, I think that I think this is going to be a loss. That's the sad part about this. I think this will be a loss. I like Miami. I like Buffalo. I'm going to be watching this game. Um, technically it'll probably be warmer. Uh, that's the hilarious part about it. That should be a warmer game for Buffalo, but I just don't see it. Um, I think that's going to put them at 9-2, and then their final game is going to be against Ohio. Trying to guess Ohio, they what Ohio did last year and everything. You got Ohio is going to be the hardest to call right now. Looking at the coach, looking at what they have, I think that Ohio can repeat being an amazing team this year. So I'm going to go 9-3. Saying that, they could go as high as 11-1. They could go as low as possibly 8. They might be able to get another. They might possibly get another loss. Um, yeah, I think that's going to be 8-11. I think 9 is where they're going to stick at. But I'm liking this team. I really am. I'm liking what I'm seeing. But let's get into some of these players here. I'm actually only really going to talk about. There's a couple players that I should talk about, but there's one in particular. Taquan Robertson. This is a 7th-year senior. Heard me right, 7th year in the NCAA. No joke, 7 years. Spent some time at Penn State. Got injured a couple of years back. Is playing again. Taquan Robertson should actually, from what he did while he was able to play and everything like that. Um, yeah, I think that Quan Robertson is going to do some excellent things. I really did. They already know what they're getting. They didn't go for any major wide receivers. They did pick up a new center, Jake Kim. They've got running back at All J Henderson, running back Messiah Birch, wide receiver Victor Snow, wide receiver Nick McMillan, and they had a couple of guards, Tyler Doty, Trevor Brock, offensive tackle Henry Tabanasi, Yeah, I think this offense learned a lot. They weren't spectacular last year, but they still won 9 games. How can you, oh, they were bland. They were national ranking 59th in points per game, 95th in total offense, 110th in passing yards average, 114th in completion percentage, 52nd in rushing yards, sacks allowed per game, tied for 49th, tied for 25th on turnovers. Yeah, they really were not that spectacular, yet they played good ball and they showed. Their defense, same thing, not that spectacular, yet they brought in a couple of inside linebackers that they really needed. They got a free safety. They kept quite a few defensive players that should be making a name for themselves. So this team is packed. I think that this is going to be an interesting team, and I can't wait to see them take down the Huskies. I want the Bulls to gore the Huskies. But hey, folks, this has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. I want to thank you for watching my video. And if you like what you saw, like, subscribe, and comment. Y'all have a good day now.